what would be the differences between, let's say, the Irish audience and the rest, like the American, the British? I don't know if there are others you want to bring it to the table.
Well, Irish, Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester, we're all the same. So in general, an Irish audience is up for, they want to have a good time. There's very little of this. It does happen, but there's very little. In Liverpool, for example, they have one of the biggest comedy clubs in Europe over there, and they see all comedians of all standards. And so when I did a show over there and I'm talking to the audience, they're expecting a high level, but they are there to support the acts. Like, they do quite a lot of kind of new material stuff over there, where literally it could be something that someone came up with on the walk to the stage. It's very rare that something like that works, but they'll be there to support that act. Most of the time in Dublin, it's the same. In New York, it is very much impress me first. So impressed, as in the audience are saying that. They're not quite like this. They are to some comedians, but again, the Irish thing works. But they're very much, they're wary of a new face. They want to get to know you first and see if this is going to work. So like I was doing the hour show over there, and I had a local act to support me, but I would go on before the local act and have a chat with them to say, this isn't the show. This is just us breaking the ice together, because I don't want this happening when my show starts. I want you to be laughing at that stage. So we'd have a little bit of banter with them, get to know everybody, and like we said earlier on, look around the room. What are we going to have to deal with? And then the opening act would come on. They're local. They're happy. We have a break, and then I come on. I've already met everyone. They're already comfortable with me, and then we move on from there. But you don't need to do that everywhere. But the kind of the New York audience, they're spoiled. They've had such great comedy for a million years that they are quite wary. But the rest of us are pretty much the same.
I have a feeling that I know what is the Irish thing. I've been living here for 8 years, so I might know what you are talking about, but I'm not sure about everyone that is watching us. So would you expand that concept of the Irish thing?
Yeah, so there's a great phrase. It's an Irish and Scottish phrase. And it's mostly said in Scotland, but it is, I wouldn't call the Queen my granny. So what that means is, like, you wouldn't see anyone above you and there's no one below you. We treat everybody the same. And like, whether you're the president, Michael D. Higgins, or we're getting our burger from you around the corner, everyone is treated the same. And generally that revolves around a lack of formality. We're not very formal people. We'll have a bit of crack and a bit of fun. Crack is just saying things you probably shouldn't say at that moment. That's pretty much what it is. Like, if you ever see an Irish person,
I do it very often. I didn't know.
There you go. You're one of us. You're one of us. But you kind of, like, anytime you see an Irish person, a sober Irish person, having an interaction with the Gardaí, there's always crack involved. There's always banter involved. Now, that's assuming they haven't pulled you over because you've got guns and drugs in your boot. Like, if it's just a normal interaction, that doesn't happen in America. They do not talk to anyone in authority the way we talk to them. But we can go anywhere in the world, and we're the cheeky Irish or whatever. And crack, generally, how I explain it is, it's just saying things you probably shouldn't say in that situation due to formality. So, whether you're speaking to a policeman, Michael D. Higgins, or the barman down the road, we speak to everyone the same. And the people who are used to being spoken to in a formal way, they love it. They absolutely love it. So that's why we're popular all around the world.
Oh yeah. That's a fact. That I think there is something about the Irish charm, and I think the accent helps, because it's kind of there's something fun about it. Maybe it's the pace, maybe it's the rhythm, or some sounds. It's just it's the same like between us, like Portuguese and the Brazilian. So Portuguese would sound like British, British, I'd say, from London, very serious, it's like kind of intellectual all the time. So if I want to say a joke, in Portuguese, let's say to a Brazilian. Let's say I'm single again and I want to impress a Brazilian girl with a joke. I need to tell her I'm joking. Otherwise, she might think I'm saying something serious, which sucks, let's say, when you are trying to conquer a woman's heart. Now, I have a Brazilian friend who is very religious, and he knows the Bible from A to Z, and I love to listen to him. He's very spiritual. He's not just religious, more of a spiritual person. But because of his accent, you are always like, are you telling a joke, or is something that we should take it, as the word of God or something like that? But he cannot help himself. It's just the way he speaks, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, the big reason why the Irish accent is so appealing to everyone, you see it, you live here. We suffer from a condition called the big Irish head. So our Irish heads are quite big and, as you can see, bumpy. We're not the most attractive of species, but we have an accent that could melt chocolate. Like it's very smooth. We could run those phone lines that only adults ring with this voice. So yeah, that's why we have the voice, the accent we have is because we have big Irish heads.